Today we are comparing Apple's Magic Keyboard in this brand new white edition versus Logitech's Combo Touch keyboard for iPads. And we're going to answer the really important question of whether it's worth to spend over $100 more to get Apple's version over Logitech's. So let's get into it. The 12.9-inch model of the Magic Keyboard is compatible with the 3rd, 4th, and 5th generation of 12.9-inch iPad Pros. The 11th-inch version of the Magic Keyboard is compatible with the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd generation of 11th gen iPad Pros. The 11th-inch model is also compatible with the new model of the iPad Air. Alternatively, Logitech has models available for all new iPads except for the iPad Mini, and also some older models as well. For simplicity's sake, here is a list with all the costs of the keyboards. As you can see, the Magic keyboards are eye-wateringly expensive, and Logitech keyboards cost well below $100 less than the Magic keyboards. So Logitech is a clear winner when it comes to price. Alrighty, one of the first things that I want to do on both of these keyboards is to do just a simple typing test and compare my typing speeds. Now you guys are going to have to give me a bit of a break because I'm not the world's fastest typer, but here goes nothing. Alrighty, so my typing speed on Apple's Magic Keyboard is 54 words per minute with an accuracy of 94%. Accuracy is a little less than my average, but 54 words per minute is about my average, so that's not terrible, I guess, for me. Now let's switch over to the Logitech keyboard. Alrighty, my typing speed on Logitech's keyboard is the exact same as my typing speed on Apple's Magic Keyboard, which is kind of surprising, and to be honest, they felt about the same to me. If I was going to give one an advantage over the other, the keys are bigger on Apple's, there's more full, like there's these weird gaps between the keys on Logitech's keyboard. So I definitely like that about Apple's Magic Keyboard, but there is a bit more travel to Logitech's. I think overall I might say I actually enjoyed typing on Logitech's keyboard more. When we look at the actual layout of the keys, we can see immediately that Logitech has a humongous advantage here. Because although the layout of the actual keyboard is the exact same, Logitech has actually a function row of keys, meaning you have pause button, or a pause/play button, volume keys, a lock screen key, brightness key to control the brightness of your device, brightness to control the backlighting of the keyboard. And instead, on Apple, we don't have any of that, so you'd have to go and interact with the screen to control any of those features, which is super annoying, but definitely a big win for Logitech here as far as keyboard layouts. Alrighty, so now we know that the typing experience on both devices is about the same, judging from the overall feel of them and the words per minute test. Let's take a look at the trackpads. So they're both physical mechanisms that go up and down. There's no force touch or whatever they call it on the MacBooks, where it's not a real mechanism. But they are both frosted glass, and they both feel pretty premium. And both the mechanisms work the exact same. They're both very sensitive. All the gestures work really nicely. However, Apple's going to win this one because on their device, you can touch it in all four corners, in the middle, in the top, and the bottom, and it'll go down. On Logitech's device, it is a diving board design, so meaning that on the bottom here, you can press down and you'll get some clicks, but when you go up, it doesn't press down at all, meaning the diving boards. So overall, Apple has a nicer trackpad, but they're both pretty surprisingly nice. Alrighty, let's take a look at the actual designs of the keyboard themselves. So of course, with the Magic Keyboard, we have the infamous floating iPad design. It's okay. I mean, it has its pros and cons. So of course the pro is the look. It looks amazing. I mean, space age, definitely a flex to your friends. But the problem is the lack of viewing angles, right? So it basically goes from here, which is unusable, to all the way back here, which this viewing angle is okay, but it's still more vertical than I usually use my laptop, you know? Like I usually have my laptop sitting more back than even this angle. So that definitely sucks. However, a great aspect of this design is when you want to use your iPad without the case, you can simply pull it off the magnets right here and then turn it around and do whatever you do with your iPad. I don't know what you do with your iPad, but you can do whatever you want after you pull it off, which is pretty cool. And then when you want to put it back, you just pop it on. There's these little pogo pins that connect it, and then boom, the keyboard's connected and you're back in business. So that's really cool. Another great advantage of this keyboard case is you have a second USB-C port right there that you can use for charging, which basically frees up the primary USB-C port on the actual device for, whatever you want, whether that's, hooking in an external SSD or maybe some peripherals, another mouse or something. Very cool. On the Logitech keyboard, on the other hand, it's basically more like a Surface Pro. So the keyboard, which is detachable, comes out like that, and then there's a kickstand on the back. Now the kickstand has a couple of advantages. So first of all, variable viewing angles, so you can do all the way from that to that, which is really, really nice. So definitely on a table, I would prefer this. Also, what's pretty cool about this case is, of course, because it's detachable, you can just rip off the keyboard and get to using your iPad. And the great thing is when you're actually using your iPad, the case stays on the back, so your iPad remains protected even without the keyboard. The materials on both devices vary quite a bit as well. So on the Logitech, the entire thing is made out of this gray soft cloth, which I actually really like. This one's been around for a while, and it's a little marked up, but it's held up really well. It also feels pretty premium, not crazy premium, but pretty premium. The iPad, on the other hand, goes for this leather that they've been using on their, cases forever, and it feels really nice. But the problem is, in this white color anyways, it gets marked up very easily. If you had it in a different color, it wouldn't be that big of a problem, but just in this white anyways, it doesn't hold up as well. So if money was not a factor, and you could buy either of these cases, and I need to tell you an objective winner of this contest, it's very close, but I think I would say the Magic Keyboard. Just because that trackpad, pretty much, the trackpad is a game changer. It is such a good trackpad for this device, and it's like you don't even feel how small it is because it's so well implemented and it's such quality. And also another big game changer in my opinion is that second USB-C port. For any kind of professional work, that really is a game changer. But considering that the Logitech keyboard costs between $100 and like $130 less than the Magic Keyboard, I don't know. I think unless you have a really specified use for that second USB-C port, I would go with the Logitech case. It sounds crazy, but I think I would. But ultimately, keyboards are one of the most subjective electronic devices you can buy. So if you can, I would really encourage you to try them out. And I really do think both of these are pretty good options.